Welcome back to Swat&Vee Immigration News. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about why the removal of the US visa backlog is so important at this time. Let's get into the video. The Biden administration has acknowledged that in the last fiscal year, the US failed to issue roughly 80,000 green cards that should have been given to legal immigrant workers. The shortfall adds to the backlog of more than 1 million people waiting to receive employment-based visas. Congress should ensure those green cards are used and then set about fixing a system that pointlessly burdens skilled immigrants in the businesses that employ them. Each year, the US issues a maximum of 140,000 green cards to immigrants sponsored by employers and approved for permanent residence, a number of frozen since 1990. Another 226,000 family preference green cards are reserved for family members of US citizens and permanent residents. In years when the ceiling for family preference visa is not reached due to low demand or processing delays or both, the unused visas move to the employment-based category that has been awarded by the end of the next fiscal year. The closure of immigration offices during the pandemic, along with restrictions imposed by the Trump administration, caused the number of family preference green card to plug in 2020. As a result, 122,000 additional employment-based green card became available. That should have been good news for workers in the green card queue, some of whom have lived in the United States legally for decades. But U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services was unprepared to handle the surge in demand despite a late push by the Biden administration. The agency fell well short of awarding the full quota by the September 30th deadline. If Congress doesn't act, those unused green cards will be lost for good. This compounds the failure of a system that, even when running as intended, leaves hundreds of thousands of skilled and legally employed workers in limbo. On average, highly educated immigrants who have qualified for green card can expect to wait 16 years before actually receiving them because of limits on the number issued to any single country. Many immigrants from India who have been approved for permanent residence in the US won't ever get a card. The legislation introduced by two Republicans, Tom Tillis and Marionette Miller Meigs, would authorize the government to recapture the expired visas and roll them into next year. The bill has so far failed to gain backing from congressional Democrats, who are seeking to include broader immigration reform in their $3.5 trillion spending package. At least one lawmaker, Democratic Senator Robert Menendez, has suggested he would oppose issuing more employment-based green card unless Congress also acts to protect the 11 million undocumented immigrants living in the US. This is wrong. Though Democrats are right to push for comprehensive immigration reform, it makes no sense to leave this immediate problem unresolved. Democratic leadership should probably embrace Tillis' bill to let USCIS retain unused employment-based green card and issue them next year. Congress should also provide additional resources to deal with staff shortages. Meanwhile, the Biden administration should streamline an absurdly complex approval process. This means, among other things, upgrading technology to allow applicants to file paperwork online. Eliminating the visa backlog will eventually require lifting the arbitrary cap on the number of cards issued each year. Broader immigration reform is needed too. Those are bigger challenges, but as an easy first step to deliver the cards, the government has already authorized to award. There is no excuse for failing to do even that. Please share this information with family and friends who may need it. You can also help us spread the news by sharing it on all social media. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit on the notification bell for more immigration updates. Bye!